All right. Thank you, everybody, for making it to this edition. So first agenda item, let's just need to approve the meeting agenda. I just need a motion. Okay.
I'll second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Everybody says good. All right. So that passes. And then did everybody get the minutes? I don't remember if I got the minutes. Oh, yes, I did. Sorry,
There was an email of it out.
I'll move to approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that passes. And then we're gonna skip the tree removal request and go straight to the new construction, and we'll come back and do those after we talk to the builders, and we'll hand it off to Joel and our builder friends.
Alrighty, which item would you like to start with?
I'm thinking item 11, Green Hill Road.
Sure. Is that 10?
Yeah.
Item number 11, 10 Green Hill Road.
Okay.
Joel, which one of your builders is here for that one?
That'd be Dimitri.
Okay.
He's here for 10 and 12.
Okay, I'll go ahead and bring Dimitri on over here in case he's got some input or if anybody has questions. Dimitri, I've brought you over to the meeting here.
All right. Good afternoon.
Thanks for hanging in there with us. All right, go ahead, Joel.
All right. So we've got both 10 and 12. Everything looks good to ACC policy specs. The one thing, we have a similar thing that happened with the last meeting. We have two homes right next to each other. Same floor plan, same design. Kind of goes against the implied intent, but not explicitly prohibited in the policies. Let's see, everything else. Looks pretty good, pretty normal. We've got retaining walls in the back. Got a steep lot. Are there any questions from any of the members? Anything you'd like to comment on or discuss at this time?
Well, I'll have some questions. I can see that there's some slight differences in the front of these houses.
Mm-hmm.
But this, if we're looking back towards the last meeting, I felt like although there were similar roof lines, at the fronts of the houses were significantly different. And I think the biggest difference I'm seeing when I look at these is the addition of the small garage door for 12. But I'm not seeing much of a difference other than that. And I think the paint colors were even pretty similar. Same fixtures, same paint colors.
Mm-hmm.
And so that, I think I would have an issue with that. Not only are they very similar in look, but they're also going to be almost identical colors with the same fixtures. And so that would be my suggestion for discussion. I like that they're fitting everything. Let's see, where's that sheet at? There we go.
I agree with you, Rich. I think these houses are pretty much the same, and I was kind of surprised that the colors were so close to each other.
Mm.
Yeah, and honestly, personally, I like the modern style. I don't have any issues with that. But they look an awful lot alike. I think that puts us in kind of a bad spot.
So we have cyberspace, Granite Peak for 12, and then 10, semi-gray, cyberspace, knitting needles.
Yeah.
The colors on my screen, they when I hop between the two, they appear a little bit different. It might just be scanning in.
Yeah, when you put them on a 10 by 10 surface,
Mhm.
that's not gonna.
Yeah, but two of the colors are the same.
And then when I saw, there's no variance or anything. The setbacks all look good.
Yep.
When we're on just 10 Green Hill, I was looking at the setbacks. That all looks good to me. Sorry, I have to zoom in a little here on my screen.
No, that's fine. Yeah, you do whatever you need to do. Yeah, setbacks are all good. There's no needed variances here. At least 5 on either side, 20 from the front.
So, and am I looking in the back? Am I looking at that correctly? Where it says is that 4 foot tall concrete retaining walls, and there's going to be 3 of them?
That's correct.
Sort of a terracing down the back.
Yep. Part of the reasoning for that 4-foot wall is when you go over 4 feet, then you need additional engineering design.
Do you happen to know? I mean, it's just hard to tell. Do you happen to know what the distance is between those walls? Is that just a few feet, or is it?
I could measure them. Let's see here.
I have a little bit of personal experience living on the side of a hill, so
Yeah.
when I see 4 foot concrete wall and it's just straight across, I mean, this doesn't tell me it's going to be anchored on the ends or have what do they call that? Is that a dead man anchor or something where it like anchors it into the hill?
It goes back. So I've got it measured on here about a separation of 4 feet.
So 4 feet tall and 4 feet apart.
Yeah.
And so what's the terrain drop there? How much how much slope is there from the top wall to the bottom wall?
So let's see, the top wall. Gotta move some things around here. It's on our elevations here.
Yeah, they're hard to read on
I'm gonna
mine.
show it. Yeah, if it's I got 502, 5 right here. And then it looks like it comes up to, about 520, 521. So if we're at 520 minus 502, that's about 18 feet.
So an 18-foot drop from the top wall to the bottom wall. And they're going to be 4 feet tall, 4 feet wide steps and terrace, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Okay. But nothing on the ends. Yeah, that's interesting. And I'm guessing that's purely just to stop erosion. And maybe there'll be some planting in there, but you can't go too big because then you'll push your walls over. Where's the stormwater on this? Is it in the front? Oh, yeah, I can see it. Yeah, sorry, I see the catch basin there. Well, what's everybody think?
Is there any reason we couldn't approve one of the houses and then send the next one back for revision of the colors or something along those lines?
Yeah, I think we could absolutely do that. We can, we could approve one and then we could defer the second one with the note, hey, these need to look significantly different. And we can't tell him what colors or anything like that, but he needs to change the fixtures and the colors, and the garage doors need to look different. I mean, they look super similar on what I'm looking at.
My other question would be, is there any kind of landscaping that's going to make the front of the houses like look any kind of significant or have any kind of significant difference?
I was looking at, that's the landscape plan for 10, right? Is that what's on the screen?
Yep.
So let's see, landscape plan for 11. I do like that they see, I mean, because the lots are so different. I mean, they're going to be a little further apart than what we usually see, it looks like.
Well, the houses will be next to each other because the 10 Green Hill is south of
Oh, okay.
12 Green Hill.
Okay.
So the house will be together, and then north of that there'll be a big space because 12 is a double lot.
Well, okay. Yeah, that's a big one. Sure, you don't want to center it. It even has the same terracing in the back. Is that right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it is proposed on the site plan here, or at least on the landscaping plan. When we have big sections of exposed concrete, I let the village know, hey, have a plan for it needs to be screened either with wood siding or exposed aggregate. I think right now we're planning on doing wood screening. Is that
I've seen a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. Even though it doesn't tell you in the landscape plan, it still says paint to match house colors.
Yeah, and that's usually for like foundation under the, below the siding usually needs to be painted.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, so we need a motion on 10, and then we can move on to 12.
Well, then I would have a question of, are either of these more pressing? Because I'm totally fine with approving one of them, but then the other one getting the deferment.
We can ask Dimitri. He's in here. Dimitri, can you hear us?
Yeah, I could hear you.
So it sounds like because the paint colors are so similar, they're at least ready to approve one of them, but then recommend the different paint colors for the second home. So is between, I guess, 10 and 12 Green Hill, is there one that
I would go with the 10 Green Hill, but the other question I'd have is there any way get like a partial approval with the color change, and we could even change the siding. I know Colin just slapped on whatever was easier for him with the siding. I was gonna change the siding anyways eventually. I just didn't have time to get him to change that. So like the panels, we could get rid of panels completely on one and then use panels on the other. And it would help us out a lot if we could get some kind of approval to start with, like with the color change, or if that's possible. But I'd prefer the 10 to go first.
Well, I think we're in a position where we're with a couple of notes, we're close to approving 10 already. But I wouldn't feel comfortable. I mean, I would say in concept, number 12 is great. But we would need to see a drawing of what the differences are going to be. before we gave a final approval on it.
Okay,
But yeah, I think I don't have an issue with 10 at all. I mean, I was questioning those walls in the back, but as long as they get screened and you know, you're a builder, I trust you know what you're doing back there. So as long as they're not going to just fall over on each other, I don't have an issue with that.
okay.
And everything else looks good. You've got your screening. No issues with trees coming out. No, that all looked good to me. Anything from anybody else? Joe Jean?
The one thing I noticed is we didn't get the ACC inspector report on number 10 Green Hill, like we have on the two other, you know, that tell us.
Oh, it's after the landscape plan. It's in there. I see the height definition, driveway slope. Or at least I have it in mine. Item 11-6 is what it's numbered.
I have it in mind.
Yeah, that's what I've got there on screen.
Okay.
Yeah. They look, they're very similar also. Do you, I guess I'll say that for, I have a question, but it can be at another time.
Okay, so we need a motion on 10.
I'll move to approve.
Okay,
I'll second.
all right, Joe Jean seconds. And go ahead.
I mean, when we second it, we're gonna approve with comments.
Yes, we can add comments. Have we already said the comments, or do we need to define what those comments are?
We probably should define.
So the comments I have here are that the retaining walls need to be screened in the back. And I mean, that's the main one, just because I was concerned about those. And then we can make our other comments on 12.
Okay,
When we go to 12.
sounds good to me.
Okay, so any other comments or discussion on 10 before we vote?
No.
Okay, so all in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that carries. So 10 is approved as submitted with the comment that the retaining walls need to be screened. All right, so that takes us to item 12, which is 12 Green Hill Road. And then what we have suggested was sort of a tentative, hey, we like this house, but we need to see a drawing of the differences between the two. And our comments for the deferral would include the paint colors need to be different, the fixtures need to be different, and then would you call it cladding? The front of the house, the cladding needs to change so that it doesn't match the house next to it. Keep having to flip back and forth. Sorry, I'm like scrolling like crazy here.
Boris has his hand raised in the attendees. Would he have some input for this? I don't know. Dimitri, would you know if Boris has something to say about this?
Maybe. I'm okay with his suggestions if he has any.
I can bring him over if you like.
Sure.
Okay. Boris, I've gone ahead and brought you over here. Saw you had your hand raised.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if it helps Dimitri, just take my colors where I'm on a different street, and he can use my light fixture idea too, if it gets him signed off. It'd be different enough, in my opinion. My colors are they're green,
I gotta get
and
to your folder.
Joel can show you guys.
Is that on Harbor View?
Correct. 63 Harborview.
Okay.
They all look gray on here, but
Yeah.
they're much different.
Well, I mean, the colors are part of what we're suggesting for 12, but I think there just needs to be a significant difference in the front of the house. Because they look pretty much identical with the exception that one seems a little wider because it gets that extra garage door. But other than that, they look identical for design.
Yeah, it's just when you're starting to dig, it's much easier to dig both at once. That's why I think Dimitri's pushing to get them both approved.
Oh yeah, and I certainly understand. I would love to be able to just rubber stamp, but we've got to take all the policies and rules into consideration when we're looking at them
That's
right
all
next
right.
to each other. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's where we're at. I just need a motion for the deferral.
Okay, I'll move to defer with
Okay.
comment.
And then
I'll second it.
Justin seconds. Okay. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so that carries. Any other comment to go with that other than the cladding, the colors, the light fixtures? Doors could be different as well. So it just needs to look different than the house next to it. And then Dimitri, you can resubmit whenever our next meeting ends up. It'll probably be next week since this one is late.
Okay.
I forget what the dates are.
June 3rd.
Yeah, June
2nd.
2nd, isn't it? Yeah.
I believe the
it's the
second.
second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this,
so June 2nd should be our next meeting. So I look forward to seeing a rendering then, and maybe we can get you up and going on 12.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have Colin change some stuff around and we'll get it back in.
Awesome. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay, so that takes us to item number 13, right? 63 Harborview.
Mhm.
All right.
Real quick, Dimitri, that's all your property. Those are all your properties for tonight.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and return you to the attendees at this time.
Excuse me.
Hey, John,
All
it's Wayne. On
Yes.
that last 10 and 12 Green Hill, would it be a problem when they redo the rendering, can we see both properties where they are situated on the site plan and then a perspective when they're actually rendered, like from the street view?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Yeah, we can pull up 10 Green Hill again and show you side by side.
Cool.
Thanks.
All right, so this one we've got 63 Harborview. This is Boris. Let's see my report. So we're all good in terms of height. Driveway slope is proposed to be at the maximum of 25% or 14 degrees. Property coverage, open space, all the rules are good. This one, I think I said it was a bit messier. So I sent Boris and he turned in his plans. I sent him the email. I said, hey, here's the things to change, to add to your plan. And he relayed that to his designer, who then refused to work with him and make any revisions and updates. So Boris is kind of left holding the bag and having to do some things, write in things by hand. So that's why so a couple things. He's going to replace the propane tank with natural gas. The retaining walls on sides of the driveway are going to be rock wall. Tree species have been updated on the survey. Trees to be removed on the site plan. So the only two concerns remaining that I have is the original proposed slope of the driveway is at the maximum 14 degrees with no transitions. Where are we at here? Driveway. This can be something that we're talking about having a site visit. Or let's see, when he's got his foundation ready to be in place and where the garage elevation is going to be to make sure that driveway is no steeper than 14 degrees and he's got his proper transitions in there. He's got his radius. So you can see on some of the, I've uploaded both of the digital plans and just had to take photos of his site plan, for example, where we have some hand edits. So I think this is what you received in a copy of.
Yeah. Okay.
So we have that's why we got all those handwritten notes, because the designer didn't want to cooperate.
Is he an artist?
Just like everybody else.
All right. So the rocks on or rock walls on the side of the driveway, is that going to be boulders, or is that going to be like a wall that's got a rock face?
No, it's gonna be boulders. I have boulders on the property that I
Okay.
can use to sort of step it as needed.
Okay. Yeah.
It's gonna change slightly because it's gonna get backfilled, and it's not gonna be as steep. That propane tank is not gonna be there, so I can all that stuff can be, I have all that space to slough it off a little better.
Okay. I'm sure your builder will appreciate the no propane out the front door.
Yeah, that'll make it easy, that's for sure.
Also, it's noted on here above ground propane tank, which would, if it was there, it would have to be buried. You mentioned that, but
yeah,
these are the originals. What else?
I guess. Yeah, I don't have any issues. I looked up the paint colors. It's easier to just look them up on Sherwin's site. Those and both paint colors look good to me. My screen shows them a little more of a beige tone though, not gray. So is it 7046? Oh, I put in 7045. That's why.
It's a grayish green.
Oh, okay. Yep, there it is. Yeah, no, it looks good. Yeah, I like the color.
And then the last bit of concern was on the site plan. There's a hemlock here that appears to be shared. This 30-inch hemlock appears to be shared with a neighbor, and I recommended Boris obtain some sort of written permission to remove the tree, to protect himself as well. He says he has an oral confirmation from the neighbor.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, you just need a quick note that says, hey, we agree that I'm going to remove this tree, and just have them sign it. And that would just be filed with the valley in case anybody comes back and says that we didn't do that.
Okay, yeah, I told him I might need to get him a note. He's fine. He's fine with that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing worse than having a big tree like that between two houses and sudden something happens where it's got to come down. And
he just asked not to drop it on his house.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, I like everything. Any comments, Joe Jean, Justin?
No, I don't have any. I mean, except we probably need the letter from the neighbor.
Yeah, the tree note is the only thing. So I would say move to approve with the comment of getting the note turned in.
Okay,
It's
need a
Wayne.
second?
Oh, sorry. I had a question on the, when,
Go ahead.
when you get that note, are we saying you don't have to stump it for erosion control?
I guess it would depend on the size and everything of the tree. How big was that one?
There's
So
30,
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there's not much slope there. It's gonna be, it's not on steep, like it doesn't affect much. It's all gonna level off with my house.
Yeah, it won't leave a slope there. Yeah, I think Wayne, I think we could just have the ensure proper erosion control measures are followed as a note. And then let's see, everything else. Okay, so I have a motion to approve it. We have comments on making sure the tree removal and erosion control is followed, and that he obtains a sign off from the adjacent property owner on the tree removal. Any other comments to be added?
no, I'll second.
Okay, so all those in favor?
Did Justin approve or move to approve?
I did, yes.
Yes. Yeah, with comments. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so it carries. So 63 Harbor View is approved.
Yeah, I'll get the note when I come to pick up everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Boris. I'll go ahead and return you to the attendees here.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, do we have any other folks waiting in the lobby?
We do. There's Chelsea for 16 North Summit Drive.
Okay, and that is going to be item 17. So if we can bring her in, and we'll let's take a look at 17 and see what we got.
All right, you got it. I brought Chelsea on over.
Hi.
All right, we're just starting to take a look at your request here, or at least I am. You're wanting to go with metal roof, Permalock. Those are nice product. I've looked at those before. So
Yeah.
fire resistant, you're good. You've got a contractor already for it,
Yep.
and it's gonna be a similar color to what you have now.
Yep. Almost identical.
Yeah, the driftwood cedar.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't have any questions. Does anybody else have any other questions about the roof?
No, I'll move to approve as is.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
All right, it's approved.
Yay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
You too,
Okay.
Chelsea. I'll go ahead and move you back here and have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, looks like that's everybody.
All right, folks.
Okay. All right, the fun part. Let's talk about tree removal requests. Item 3, 4, 5, and 6.
I'm going to say goodnight.
All right, Joel, have a good
I don't
one.
think you
Thanks
need me
for,
anymore. Yeah,
thanks
hey.
for jumping in.
No, my pleasure. Thanks for being able to host. You know, if there's anything, I reached out to Keith just asking for feedback on, you know, what you guys are receiving. If you want more or less. If you want, I used to include things revisions to the builder, say here's the things you need to do, and send those back and call them all fixed. If there's anything you want me to do for you moving forward, just shoot me an email. Let me
Perfect.
know what
Can
you'd
we,
like to see on your end. Yeah.
in our next meeting, do you keep like a spreadsheet or a list of like all the current projects and kind of where they're at? In like what phase are they, like at final inspection, or are they, you know, still at the stick phase? Or
Yes, I do. I could. Yep, I do.
I'm just thinking coming into the construction season, it'd be good to know, like, okay, what projects are finishing up that we probably approved months or maybe even a year ago. And that way we kind of have an idea where, I mean, how much time you're going to have to spend too with all those final inspections. And I know we're coming into the sales season as well.
Yeah, so here's what I'll just kind of give you a brief. Here's kind of what it looks like right now. This is all last year.
Okay.
I have a question, Joel. Are you monitor number 14, 1 Green Hill Road and 18, 3 Topper Drive, where they want extensions?
Oh, 3 Topper Drive, and what was the other one? 1 Green Hill?
Green Hill Road.
I haven't been out to Topper in a while, but I do. Those were approved projects last year that I was a part of.
Yeah, well, they're asking for extensions, and I went by both of them, and I was wondering when they started, because it doesn't look like they've been working too hard on them.
Oh, really? Yeah, I can get you start dates for those.
And as people file for extensions too, we like to know how many extensions they've had and what the reasoning for those extensions are. Occasionally it'll be someone has an ill family member or something, some kind of emergency comes up where they have to delay or stop construction in some cases. And I just know in the past we've had some folks that ask for 6 or 7 extensions, and we go 3 years and the house isn't completed yet.
Right. I think we've got a couple of those currently.
Yeah.
There's a house on my street that seems like it's been abandoned, like on the project stage.
Yeah, well, like 1 Green Hill Road, he said that the county has extended his permit or whatever to October, but he's asking us to extend it to December 9th. And I don't have a problem extending it to October like the county is.
Yeah, we typically only match the county when we do extensions. At least that was my experience. We would match any extension we grant to whatever the county permit is. But I also know that the county is pretty loose with their extensions. They tend to rubber stamp extension requests pretty quickly. I think there may be a fee associated that folks have to pay too. I'm not sure if they do.
Yeah, well, they want 2 more months after the county was approving through October, and they want us to approve through December 9th.
Yeah, and what we can do is we can just say if we approve it, we could just say we'll approve it to the county's date, whatever date is on the county permit.
Yeah. I just wanted to hear what Joel had to say before we go. We can just look at those in order.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So 1 Green Hill's the first one, right? That's item 14.
Sure.
Yeah.
So 1 Green Hill, the start date for that was June 9th, 2021. So they have 1 year until they need to file for an extension. And I think you're right that I think the language says that we can match extensions to the county, whatever the county extends it out to. I think it also says or 6 months. So usually the county, like the maximum county extension is 6 months. So usually the county is shorter. So I think that most of them have been matching the county. So 1 Green Hill was June 9th, and then 3 Topper was also June 9th. They had the same start date.
Of 2021.
Which one?
2021 is.
Yes,
June.
correct.
Yeah, thanks.
So they're approaching their 1 year, their first extension.
So yeah, and it's the same company. They're both Arrow, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So and he's saying it's labor and material. Now I'm just gonna guess because I didn't go see these two. They've already been. Is there foundations there, or are they just been clear cut, or?
No,
Oh.
there's the wooden stuff,
Okay, they do have some stuff up.
siding.
Hmm.
Oh, so he may be in final stages on them, so that might be good for him.
Well,
Okay,
it didn't look too close to final to me, but I don't know how to build a house.
just a hammer, couple nails, some screws. Somebody's rolling over right now with me saying that. I can feel it. Yeah, so do you want, so we can just do the extensions while we have Joel here then. I'm okay with doing that. If you guys want to make motions on item 13 and oh wait, was it item 13? Yeah, I think that was right.
It's 18. Okay, I'll move to approve an extension through October, like the county has.
To match the county and that.
Yes,
So do you want to make that motion on 3 Topper Drive and on 1 Green Hill?
yes.
All right,
I'll second it.
all right. All those that are, oh, go ahead. To
Oh,
match
it's
the
Wayne.
county permit.
Right. If we second it, can we second it with comments saying, because I know some of the, I mean, myself, when I've seen construction where they've got extensions, it's usually because of labor shortage.
That's
So
what he
if they
lists
can
on his
explain.
form. Yep.
Okay.
And then you can correct me if I have this wrong, John, but I think the first extension from Sudden Valley is free, but if they request more extensions, there are some fines associated. Is that correct? Or
Yeah.
potentially there can be fines.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah, so so the motion is to approve 1 Topper, or sorry, 1 Green Hill and 3 Topper Drive, approve their extensions until the county extension date to match the county paperwork. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay, and all those that approve, say aye.
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 Approve 1 Topper, or sorry, 1 Green Hill and 3 Topper Drive. Yep. The item 18 and item 14. Item 14 and item 18.
No, yeah, I'm sorry, 14.
Okay, now we can go back up to item 3. The
Maybe
tree removal at 52 Marigold Drive.
All right. All right. I'll head out unless you have more questions for me.
I think we're good.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Have a good
Joel.
Thank you,
night.
Joel. Okay, so this one looked complicated. Where those were behind that house. And
That's
that's
what I
a
was
big,
I
big
was-
cedar.
Oh, I'm sorry. I went over there and the trees in the front are fine, but I didn't climb around the back. I'm too old to mountain climb. And so I don't have an opinion about the trees in back.
Yep, I don't have any problem with the limbing. They're following the rules as far as the limbing is concerned, and it's to preserve their house. So I'm okay with that. The cedar, man, I think it's kind of the same thing. If they want to remove it, I would require some replanting. That'd be they marked replanting on there, but they didn't say what they would put in there, but just new smaller size appropriate trees. And 10 to 15 feet of the stump, that's pretty generous. That'd be a nice woodpecker habitat or something at some point. What do we think? Any additional comments, questions?
No,
Okay, just need a motion.
I'll move to approve.
All right,
I'll second.
all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
That's a county permit, right, for the tree
Yes,
and
yeah, that's it. Let me say, it's implied that we would require county permits on anything that requires a county permit. And that's in the letter, John, that goes out, right?
I would have to consult with Deb to get the full details on that, but I believe you're correct.
Whatever correspondence goes out just needs to remind them they have to have the correct county permits to match.
Maybe add it with the or add a comment just to specify that
Yeah, we can.
until we know at least that.
Yeah, I can't imagine they've changed the letter. It's probably the same letter that we've been using for many years. All right, 45 Valley Crest Way.
I cannot read this at all, so I don't know.
Oh,
what
really?
they're-
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It just says attached photo of tree dead in danger of damaging the neighbor's house. It's approximately 18 inches in diameter. It's just off to the front. Well, if you're looking at the house, it's off to the left of the driveway. He had blue tape on it. And it's a hemlock, and they are notorious for dying here, especially in any hot conditions. So I don't have any problem with it. Again, with proper permits.
Oh, scrolling down, I see the image better. Yeah, I'll move to approve.
Okay.
second,
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion carries. Approved. All right. Item, what am I? 5. 31 Valley Crest Way. This is a fir. Now this is super interesting to me. This is the one that's growing through the deck,
oh, yeah,
and it's huge. It's a big tree. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm totally in favor of whatever he needs to do. Because if he leaves it much longer, it's going to tear down his deck.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a choice but to remove it at this point.
Well, there's all the photos of the damage to the deck already.
Yeah, just from the limbs that have fallen and.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll move to approve.
second.
All right.
Was that
All
just,
those-
It was, yeah.
Yes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. He is approved with proper permits, and whew, good luck to the lumberjack that tackles that job. That's a big one.
Comment. It's kind of sad. It's a pretty tree, but
I
like, so dangerous.
it's just, I don't know. I'm wondering when that house was built, and if like a homeowner built the deck out like that. I don't think we would have ever approved a deck tied into a house like that. But man, yeah, that's quite the project. All right, next one, item 6, 199 Sudden Valley Drive.
and
Yeah.
that's one where they say it's on Sudden Valley property, and so do we just hand that off to somebody else?
Yes, we would defer that to Sudden Valley, and it would be evaluated by maintenance, and they do a certain amount of tree. Well, I'm sorry, I don't know if they're still doing this, but it used to be once or twice a year, Sudden Valley had some monies, and they would go out and they would go to the greenbelt lots and they would remove trees like this. So it would be sent off to maintenance and staff for their evaluation.
Okay. I'll move,
So, yeah, you want to move to defer?
yes,
Okay.
A second.
All right. So all those in favor?
aye,
All right. So that carries. We're deferring that to Sudden Valley maintenance and staff for evaluation and possible action. next one I have is item 7 for 31 North Point Drive. And I got to tell you guys, I'm feeling tough with this one because I'm a Navy guy, and anything called Salty Dog, I kind of want to let anybody paint that color.
I thought this was going the opposite direction.
Salty Dog, huh? It's a nice blue green, but man, that's a lot of color. That's a lot of color.
Is it on the approved list?
I can already just tell you no, it's not going to be.
I don't believe it is. It's like a well, you could see it's kind of a blue green color, like almost a turquoise. I'm gonna look it up on Sherwin-Williams site just so I can get a better color. Nine 9177. It's interesting because they call it a neutral paint color. So, all right. So the color, so when I look at it on Sherwin-Williams site versus the scan, it's more of a, I would compare it to a navy blue. It's not as turquoise looking.
I think on their website, it looks a lot more subtle than it does on the printed page that's scanned.
It is a very dark color for the body of a house, though.
Well, I mean, we just approved 2 black houses like last time, pretty much.
Yeah, we did. The darker grays.
I always approve the paint colors, so that's how my view is.
I'm not opposed to it. I don't have a problem with color. I just want to make sure we're all voting for the same thing. Exterior of the home, the attached blue chip, reddish brown chip represents the trim. I wonder what color that trim is.
Yeah, I can't see any numbers on that one.
John, do you have the original for this one?
I don't really. Yeah,
I'm
the
just wondering if that paint chip, if the trim has a color code.
Yeah, the original submission probably would be back at the office again with Deb, most likely.
All right. I just need a motion.
I'll move to approve.
All right.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Salty Dog is going to be on a house. I like it. Good luck, Gerald, and I can't read the second name there. Good luck. I like it. Let's see, number 8, item 8, 65 Marigold Drive. This is the new furnace and air conditioning heat pump. So I think they're looking for where to place it. And they're asking for our recommendation, I guess.
Based on the drawing,
just approval, right?
Space 2 looks better since it would be more hidden from view with screening plants.
Yeah, that's true. But it is right off their entryway too, in front of their house. If they went with the garage location, it's down the side. I'm not opposed to either location.
That's kind of what I thought, but I thought number 1 was better because it was farther on the side. Number 2 is right in front of the house. And the gas line's over by number 1.
That's a real good point.
Yeah, and we can tell them to add vegetative screening. It's 9 feet inside the property line, at least according to the drawing.
They have a problem. Let's just approve with comments of move the screening plants to site 1.
Yep, that works. Just need a motion.
I'll move to approve with comments.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And what was the comment, Justin?
That the screening plans should be moved from the proposed location on site 2 to 1.
So we're approving site 1 with vegetative screening. Perfect. All right, for Sagewood Court, item number 9.
Oh, did you guys go to that one?
No.
I did not on this one.
Rich, did you?
I did not. I didn't make it to the.
Let me explain this one. They can't build a fence tall enough to do what they want to. The house on their side is on Sudden Valley Drive, and that's the house where the guy has done maintenance, car repair in his yard for about the last 20 years, and the roof is falling down. And I mean, I would have the county come and inspect the house to see if it was livable.
Okay.
And so that's why they want to build a fence to, to block the view of this. Plus, they told me that that guy cut down 2 of their trees in their backyard. He came and cut their trees down and never asked and never got approval by Sudden Valley. I mean, it's.
Okay.
I'll move to approve to do whatever they wanted to. I mean, that's how much.
How well was the property? So basically, as the drawing shows here, they want to build a 3 to 4 foot wall and then backfill it so that it stops the erosion for the posts on their deck.
Okay, yeah, and that's really a good idea because it really, right where the posts are, it slopes down a lot. And I can see that's really important to build that wall there.
Well, I guess what would matter though is how deep the pilings are there that their deck is sitting on.
Uh-huh.
Those should go all the way down to bedrock or solid material. I mean,
Without,
yeah, even on a slope, they should go straight down quite a ways, like 18 to 24 inches usually, so that they won't erode out. But I do understand where they're coming from.
it does slope down a lot, and it's all green space back there.
So how close will this wall be to their property line back there on the back side?
I didn't see the property line, and it was kind of hard even walking back there for little people.
So I think before we can approve it, that's what we need to know. We need to know, because this wall is it's a semi-permanent structure. And if they put this wall in, it's going to have to abide by setbacks, or they have to do a variance request. I don't have a problem with the wall. I don't have a problem with what they're doing, but we need to know where it's going to be placed, because they're showing it 8 feet out from their deck. And we know most properties are pretty close to their setbacks. So if they're going 8 feet out from that deck, they could very well be right on their property line. So we need to, I would say my recommendation is we defer it and have them mark the property line so we can get a better idea of where the wall needs to be.
Okay, I would guess they wouldn't be able to find the property lines, but I mean, that's
a big wall, a 20 to 22 foot long wall. It's a pretty big project.
Yes.
And then, of course, we would also have to let them know, well, if it goes over 4 feet, because they're saying 3 to 4 feet, but what if they start digging and find out they need to go further to put in a good foundation for it? Now you might be talking about a 5 foot wall, which would require engineering work to make sure it doesn't cave in or push out. So that's my thoughts on it. Justin? or Wayne?
I think that you bring up a good point for needing to know like the specifics of that. I also don't have a problem. And with Georgine having gone there and like knowing that they have like issues with the neighbor, like, yeah, I mean, I get it. I think that it sounds like we probably need like a better understanding of where this is going to be exactly though.
So, so we're not approving it just because we're approving it because of erosion, right? Like there's a safety issue here, right?
No. My recommendation is that we defer it until we can get the property lines and everything sorted out, so we know where the wall's going.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then,
So
yeah, they have to have a plan for if the wall gets taller or if they get too close to the property line, they have to have a variance for it
right
to be that close.
Okay.
All right, so I think I can make this motion, right? Can I motion? Can I motion to defer it with the comments that we need property lines marked? And if it's within the 5-foot setback, we need a variance for the wall as well. And then the other note would be if the wall exceeds the 4-foot height at any point, it'll require the engineering work that I don't know, that is associated with walls that are more than 4 feet.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carries. It's deferred with those comments. All right, let's see. All right, so the next one is also for Sagewood Court. And so I think this is what you were talking about with the fence for the neighbor, right?
Yes,
Okay, now this was next to the house, not behind it, right?
correct.
Okay.
And it didn't seem to be very much property between the two houses. I mean, they seem to be maybe
Pretty
five,
close.
yeah. And they'd have to build it practically on the property line.
Okay. So, all right. The first thing is we don't typically approve privacy fences. We allow privacy screening, but not continuous fences. And this is what, 35 feet or so?
And it'd have to be pretty long, yeah. And I mean, like I said, I don't blame them at all. And, it's easy to find if you just went down to the left when you go in gate 3. It's not that far down Sudden Valley Drive. And you see the house on the corner that I was talking about. And
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
It's just next door. And you really have to see it to understand their issue. Well,
It also says pet enclosure.
well, yeah, and they weren't going to. They were only going to put the fence on that side of the property. They weren't going to.
Yeah, so they basically just want to run it down, as I'm looking at the house, down the right-hand side property line all the way to the back corner, but they're not going to close anything in for pets. It's literally just a privacy fence. At
I
that
was
point.
mostly just using it as a loophole.
Yeah. So.
Well, I have that. They have an old dog, and the guy on the corner has a dog that always comes over to their yard and does whatever dogs do, and then they have to clean it up. And so that was another reason they wanted the fence.
I'm okay with the fence. It's the privacy fence that I don't like.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I explained to him about that there had to be gaps, and having the gaps in it somewhat defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that that house on the corner kind of sits higher up, and I don't know how much, the fence had helped the look of the property.
Yeah.
You actually have to see it to understand.
When you
And-
mentioned where it was, I know where you're talking about. I've been to that gentleman's property before. So I know exactly which
Yeah.
house we're talking about.
The front of that house is really not in very good condition, but you need to see the back of that house to understand how anyone could even live in it. But, he must like.
Are these so the drawing shows it's going to be vertical panels, or sorry, horizontal panels instead of vertical? Is that correct? Is that what they're planning?
Yeah, that's kind of what they wanted, and I told them that we didn't approve that kind, and but having big gaps between the two panels or something defeats the purpose of their issue.
Were they open to doing wooden wire or I mean, the solid fence doesn't bother me because it's just a straight fence with nothing on either end. But and I understand why they would want a solid fence in that particular area. But like you said, it's not going to solve their problem either. And so I don't know. I defer to you guys for whatever motion we come up with.
So
They will need a variance request to put it on the property line, though, not just a request. So I don't see a variance attached.
Well, the first one was kind of a variance, but it didn't explain what the variance was for. Was it for the fence or the?
Yeah, this was for building the rock wall or building the retaining wall. Yeah. So they need to do a variance for the fence on the property line, but then they need to do a request for the wall. Yeah, I defer to you guys for whatever motion you want to do for the fence request, and we'll see where it goes.
So I'm a little confused. What are we approving? A privacy fence, or is it not permanent? If it's permanent, then isn't that what our role is? Like, why are we? Like, I sense we're settling a dispute, which is not what our role is, right?
Yeah. So per the drawing they submitted, it's a fence. They want to put a solid privacy fence down one side of their property on the property line. It's not going to be enclosed. It's just a solid wood wall, basically, all the way from the front edge of the property all the way to the back edge down the right-hand side of the house. And so our policy doesn't allow for privacy fences. I mean, and that's all I would say on it. It doesn't allow for privacy. I don't have a problem with a fence in general, even a solid fence that long, but it needs to be within our policy, in my opinion.
Well, could we just approve a solid fence with a variance to be on the property line? And the solid fence.
Yeah, we can approve whatever we want, but we got to try and keep it within the policy. So they can be approved, but there has to be a good reason for us to approve it. And I think Wayne's correct. Our role isn't to fix the neighbor disputes. And I mean, honestly, without more information from Sudden Valley from staff, I wouldn't even know, if they've I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I think they've probably complained in the past to Sudden Valley, and probably not much has happened, which is why they're at this point.
Well, they said that nothing happened about the trees he cut down. I don't know if they complained about the others, but I mean, I've known that house has been a problem in the neighborhood for years. And I don't, solid fences are only approved on Lake Louise Drive or Road and Lake Watcom Boulevard. We generally don't allow them inside like where these guys want those.
Those are the places we've typically approved them, is the busier streets. Well, and then in the drawing too, I mean, I have questions about the property line, because it looks like they say the property line in the neighbor's driveway is partially on their property.
Yeah, it is.
There's a whole bunch of issues there.
And like I say, we probably should defer it until more than just I go and see it.
Okay, I just need a motion, whatever we want to vote on.
I would motion to defer until we receive more information on the property line, like have a survey come back and then define it as a fence. That's not a privacy fence to fit within the guidelines.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay.
I'll second. And that was Wayne.
Oh, go ahead. So, all those in favor of the deferral with those comments?
Aye.
Okay, so it carries. So the fence request is deferred until we receive more information on the property line. We need a variance for the fence to be on the property line. And then the fence needs to be one that is approved per our policies.
Okay.
All right, did I get all that, Wayne?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Don't let me miss anything. You guys got to keep me on my toes. All right, so let's see, past the new constructions. Where am I now? All right, we already took care of item 14. So the next one would be item 15, which is the fence request at 352 Sudden Valley Drive. All right, so this is another tough one. So 8x6 privacy fence section to limit car lights and noise from the road. Now, is this the front or the back of the house?
That's the side of the house.
Side there. Okay, that must be like a front deck.
I guess, I don't remember, but I question whether the fence, how close the fence was to the property line. And it's, there are some ferns there, and the fence is going to be on the house side of the fern. So the ferns, would
On the inside.
Yeah.
And it's just the 8-foot section, right? They don't want to build like a 30-foot long. So it's more like a privacy screen. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's kind of what it was.
Okay. I don't have any problem with that. I would say the only comment that needs to be in the approval is that it must meet the setback requirements.
I'll move to approve with the comments.
Okay.
Second.
Joe Jean seconds. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, the motion carries. The privacy screen is approved. Item 15. All right, so item 16, I think this is our last one, right? No, sorry. Yes, so item 16 is 11 Little Strawberry Lane. This is an exterior alteration request. And
This
they
one
wanna-
doesn't show up on my screen like at all. I can't read the writing.
Okay,
But,
it says, we would like to place a 10-foot by 12-foot gazebo. It's one of those metal gazebos you pick up at, they look like the ones at Costco, the big
Yeah, I
ones.
see it on the next page.
Yeah,
I have no problem. It's temporary. You can take it down super easy.
yeah. I just wanted to see where she was saying it was gonna be at. Non-attached on our, oh, they're gonna put it on their back deck. Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Justin, did you move to approve?
I will now.
Okay, I'll second it. I thought it would look fine where it is. It's kind of back a little and it's kind of high up and it shouldn't bother anybody.
Yeah, those are easy to pop up and down when you need to. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
That
motion
one.
carries. The gazebo is approved for 11 Little Strawberry Lane.
Oh, that one was the last one.
What was it?
Yeah,
Well,
the next one's
did we do-
extension and then the roof.
Did we do 16 North Summit Drive?
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah, we did.
the other
Oh, yeah, you're
attendee.
right. Okay, yep. So I think that's it. Everything. So I just need a motion to, I don't know, end the meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I
There
second
we
that.
go. All right. So we can be adjourned.